Hi, this is a short video on planning considerations to improve performance. This chapter includes the initial planning considerations, so the big picture, the planning a training year, also looking at elements of a training session, and also overtraining. As you can see, the first part is the initial planning considerations. There are three elements to this syllabus points. They are the performance and fitness needs, the schedule of events and competitions, and also the climate and season that the athlete is involved in. Essentially, the initial planning considerations are the big picture ideas. It's the idea of gathering information about the athlete, what are their performance and fitness needs, what do they want to achieve, what's their current fitness level. This would be different for individuals versus team performances, depending on what event and what your goals are for that event, when the event's being held. All those things need to be considered, and obviously it would also vary depending on the level that athlete is at, if they're a recreational amateur athlete or if they are an elite professional athlete. And that's to learn too from this section, is to understand the difference between how these performance and fitness needs and schedules would vary between these athletes. This slide is an example of an amateur training program, a 12-week or 10-week training program to improve aerobic fitness that was published as part of training for the 14-kilometre City to Surf. And you can see that the training has rest periods. It follows the FIT principle loosely. It includes different types of training, showing variety. You can see that the sessions increase in time, so there's overload, there's progressive overload experienced by the athlete, and the whole idea is this is designed to get an athlete who's not got a great aerobic base to a point where they can run 14 kilometres in the City to Surf. So you can just check out some of the elements of this program. As I said before, once we understand this is all part of the big picture, once we've established the performance and fitness needs of our athlete or athletes in a team situation, and we've organised a program based on that, we next need to consider the schedule of events. So when are their competitions? Are they weekly? Are they fortnightly? Are they every 3 months? How do we prepare for those the best we can? Is there a time of the season that we need to peak for? What are the phases of the season, if there's an in-season or a pre-season, or if there's a post-season as well. So we need to start thinking about all those things before we schedule our whole yearly plan. The third and final part of the initial planning considerations is the climate and season. So this is looking at when the athlete is going to be competing, what's the climate needed, do they need to acclimatise, do they need to have particular training environments replicated, do they need specific clothing for that climate, do they need to, like I said, acclimatise to that environment, what do they need to wear, how can we prepare our athletes based on the climate season. So these three big picture things are combined to be part of the initial planning considerations, and we do these before we start planning the training year.